Now in the hands of Ms. Lisa Lambert.
This is the pre-meeting of the Mobile City Council, Tuesday, August the 29th. We have approval of minutes from August 22nd.
It's good.
Appeals, we have requests for waiver of the noise ordinance, October the 4th through the 6th, 6 a.m. until 12 a.m. in Mardi Gras Park. October 14th from 2 p.m. until 10 p.m. on Texas Street. Also, October 21st, 2 p.m. until 10 p.m. on Texas Street.
Is it good, Mr. Carroll?
Yeah, I don't know what this 2 p.m. to 10 p.m. is, but I think it's okay. The October 4th is the football game. It's okay. What, these two right here from 2 p.m. to 10 p.m. at 540 Texas Street. Let me figure out what that is.
Airbus.
Is it the thing that they do at the Texas Street Park, and it's not on the street, right? Oh, that's fine.
Okay. September 23rd, 5 p.m. until 10 p.m. on MacArthur Street.
Let's just change that to 9 p.m.
Okay, 9. December 2nd, 1 p.m. until 4 p.m. on Arlington Park. August the 31st and September 1st, 4 a.m. to 1 p.m. 4 p.m. to 4 a.m. to 1 p.m.
Yes, council, this is construction that's going on at the old Mains. And pretty much that the cement is so hot that it dries real quick. And so they need to start pouring early. Talk to some people. Pretty much it's going to be just like the backing up noise, buzzing and stuff like that. So as for us to just move on with this. Okay.
October 21st, 3 p.m. until 7 p.m. in Municipal Park.
Okay.
Public hearings today is a public hearing to rezone property located at 1408 St. Stephen's Road and 212 North Lafayette Street from R1 and B2 to B1. Public hearing to rezone property located at the north side of O'Shell Road, 340 feet east of Cosgrove Drive from R1 to B1. Public hearing to modify a PUD located at 2970 McVeigh Drive North and 3030 McVeigh Drive North. Public hearing to rezone property located at 3901 Cottage Hill Road from B1 to R1.
Mr. President.
Yes, Mr. Reynolds.
Margaret, I think this says that they must meet building codes for this downzoning from B1 to R1. Do we know what those building code deficiencies are currently?
There are some outstanding issues. There's been a pool installed. No permits were issued for that. So they have that. I believe there may be some property maintenance issues because they have the illegal pool that it needs to be secured and things of that nature. The R1 zoning strictly strips this property of its commercial classification. From a zoning perspective, we're still looking for full compliance with R1 use setback site coverage. They still have to address any outstanding building code issues.
That will include a fence around the pool.
By code, it must include a fence, and I believe they also have a carport that was erected without permits, so that would also have to be brought into code.
Okay, thank you.
Public hearing to fix costs for demolition of structures at 906 Donald Street, 107 Randolph Street, 1853 Tolman Avenue, 604 Tata Street, and 5014 Perrin Road. Presentation of petitions and other communications to the council. Michael Pierce to give an update on the Mobile Housing Authority. Pickoff the Lorca to address LGBTQIA plus inclusionary practices and the recent dismissal of city liaisons. Rodney Toomer, concerns about the closing of the Optimus Boys and Girls Club without a contingency plan in place. Why is it on here? Teresa Bettis has canceled. Reverend Tony Allgood, concerns about the need for transparency in police-related shootings. Christine Dallas, Maria Dallas, Latanja Thompson, Carrie Williams, Phil Williams, Dr. Roderick Esquire, Sharon Allen, Robert Clopton, and Sylvester Cheatham are requesting body cam footage regarding the Jawan Dallas shooting. Ordinance is held over. 25039, ordinance amending Chapter 25, garbage, trash, and litter of the Mobile City Code.
Council,
President.
yeah. Council, I'm gonna ask the city attorney, then I'm also ask for our attorney. The city attorney, will just ask him to just bring us to date where we at. Also, want to hear from our attorney, then I'm gonna open up the floor to the council and then back to the administration.
On what issue?
On this, on the,
Oh,
no,
This is the ordinance.
on the ordinance. Yes,
oh,
yes.
why?
So we're having a
We have having a committee meeting.
Yeah, this is not.
Oh, I'm sorry. I jumped ahead. I jumped ahead. I'm sorry.
Mr. President,
Yes, Mr.
I know we've got a committee meeting scheduled this afternoon to address this particular issue. I've read through, I don't know, approximately 2/3 of the ordinance. It's a lot. It's a big ordinance. I'd ask that we hold this over for 30 days till we get past the budget. So we can focus our attention on the budget.
Will that have an impact on anything in the budget though?
No.
It won't impact anything.
Miss,
I don't know that it would.
Mr. President,
Yeah, Mr. Dunn, Ms. Gregory. Mr. Carroll, then I still want to ask Mr. Woods a question. So-
okay, I tend to be in agreement with Mr. Reynolds on this. I think I've read every ounce of it, and there are a lot of changes. I am not opposed to holding this over 30 days. I would think that the administration has already budgeted for the changes in the upcoming budget, so that I don't think it would affect the budget. But it does need a little bit more conversation from the council, even though it is going to committee. So I'm absolutely fine with it.
I'll just wait to committee. Anyone else? Madam Clerk.
Consent resolutions held over. 4707, declare the structure at 1823 St. Charles Avenue a public nuisance and order it demolished. 4874, fixed cost for demolition of the structure at 1212 Seneca Street. CIP resolutions held over. 08920, approve purchase order to Digital Aerial Solutions for processing and production of map contours for GIS. 21921, authorized contract with Watson AC Strunk Design for site improvements at Tricentennial Park. Resolutions held over. 21901, authorized contract with Vulcan and Associates for professional program management services for the Civic Center.
Mr. President,
Mr. Carroll.
it is my understanding that there is contract language that now amends the contract from Volkert that will include 15% minority participation through the original contract without changing the cost of the contract in place. I think that is submitted by the administration and will be on today's agenda with the changes in the contracts. So let me say this. Our administration, the mayor, the chief of staff, and Jim DeLapp, and everybody else that participated in this is a job well done. This is how we do business and how we should be doing business. And let me thank y'all for making this happen, because this opens the door for possibilities for DBEs that haven't seen it at this level. This is a tremendous step for us. Let me thank Volkert too for amending their contract to make sure that the opportunities that are capable of being allotted by our city and by contracts and professional services are there. This is a tremendous step forward, and this is these are the steps where the mayor's proclamation and his mantra, one mobile count. This shows that there's a true vestiture
in Winmobile and making sure that everybody can participate.
Mechanically, what happens here? Are we gonna amend this?
The amended contract should be on the agenda and given an amendment from the chief of staff. Volker has said that they have the contract, so the administration should have it. Is that not correct, Mr. Woods?
So looking at section 13.2, the non-discrimination clause includes the 15%. So what we'll do is bold highlight that, push it out, and give the clerk's office an amended version so we can have it on the agenda.
So, Mr. Carroll, why don't you offer that amendment up during the meeting and as a replacement?
As soon as we have it.
Yep.
Again, guys, this is a huge step and a great job on the administration part to make sure that this happens.
01922, authorizing Raul Malabar to provide tennis lessons and clinics for Parks and Recreation Department. 08923, approve purchase order to CDW Government LLC for iPad tablets and vehicle mounts. 08924, approve purchase order to Centus Corporation to assess Centus Corporation number 2 for insulated jackets and bib overalls. 08925, approve purchase order to Gordon Companies for walkthrough Christmas tree for Parks and Recreation Department. 08926, approve purchase order to Gordon Companies for lighted snowflake street pole decorations. 08928, approve purchase order to Sun South for John Deere tractor. 08929, approve purchase order to Turner Wilson Fence for fencing for cruise terminal off-site parking. 08930, approve purchase order to VC3 for annual renewal of MIT data security, backup, and recovery services. 08931, approve purchase order to Vertiv Corporation for annual renewal of maintenance services for MIT Museum Drive. 09932, reallocate funds from general fund REAM facilities to capital project fund, civic center marketing to fund professional services contract. 09933, transfer funds from general fund unassigned fund balance to city hall overhead, Ladd Stadium for Ladd Stadium fiscal plan. 13934, authorized change order with Robert J. Baggett for joint replacement at the Convention Center Exhibit Hall. 21935, authorized contract with Hadley Construction Specialties for window repairs at 200 Government Street. 21936, authorized contract with AA Construction Company for re-roofing of MPD 3rd Precinct. 21937, authorized contract with Jose Weaver and Sons for 2022 Pago resurfacing. 21938, authorized contract with Waste Pro of Alabama for residential garbage and trash services.
Question. Want to hear from Mr. Woods. Got a blunt moment right quick. Yeah. Could you just tell her where we at right now, if it's possible, and then what's also we might be looking at later on in the agenda?
Okay, sure.
So, Mr. Small, if you're referring to the Waste Pro contract and the corresponding garbage contract for McDuffie, number of different issues there. I think there's been a number of questions about, what happened with the bid and where we go. So let me explain it this way. Number one, what we found in procurement was that Waste Pro was the low bidder. There's been some questions about whether or not that bid was completely submitted. And what I can tell you is both of the responsive bidders had deficiencies or had to supplement. And so both Waste Pro and McDuffie had to supplement after the opening of the bid. There's a question about whether or not the bid was properly filled out, the bid being Waste Pro. It was, even though there's a recording where you have an employee that says, hey, this is not complete. Well, it's not our standard bid package. It's garbage. It's different. It comes in a different format. Subsequently, we were able to find out that it actually was complete. It was signed. And most importantly, the city reserves the right to cure all deficiencies if they're minor and technical. Remember, the point of the bid law is to get the best offer for the citizens at the best price. And so what we came about was Waste Pro submitted, they had to supplement, McDuffie submitted, they had to supplement. So ultimately what we've done is say, look, council, based on all the information you all have, we put both contracts before you. Both of them are responsive. One's one price, one's other. Those are both fixed prices, and you can look at them and go forward as you see fit based on the information that you have.
So my question is that when both of the contracts was, when both of the proposals was submitted, was both of them was completely or just one of was?
So both of them had to be supplemented. So, but you would say that they're technically not complete, but we allow you to be able to say, hey, you can supplement with additional information, and both had to supplement with additional information, both Waste Pro and McDuffie. And what the city does is reserve the right to waive any irregularities as long as you're getting the best price, and it's not going to be a disadvantage to any other competitor.
Mr. Days? Mr. Reynolds?
Yes, sir, Mr. President. So I've dug quite deep into this one, and I think the level of incompleteness matters in this scenario. Is Mr. Payne here? John, do you mind coming to the microphone?
Are we going to hear all this again at 10:30?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Payne, did you open the bids?
That is correct.
That is, okay. And I listened to the recording of the bids. And when you opened up Waste Pro's bids, what was present?
A package that was not present was the normal bid form that I usually see coming back in with our terms and conditions on the back. Now, what was in the package elsewhere was a clause that stated that they accepted the terms and conditions. We have had legal advice over the years that if a bid is not signed, we're going to have this form, that to reject the bid. Now, in this case, the bid was signed, it just wasn't signed in the format that I normally go to and deal with.
All right. Was it just the pricing sheet that was a part of the bid? Just, it looked like it was just maybe the pricing sheets and then basically a 2-page general statement by the contractor, so 4 pages.
There was a package we got in a booklet that we got.
Okay. Also, after the bids were opened, I think the opportunity was given to the other respondents to review each other's bids.
That is normal policy, yes, sir.
Okay, and then those respondents took advantage of that, and one of them looked at the other bid and the other looked at the other bid, right?
Correct.
Okay. Thank you. That's all I have. So, based on that, you basically give your competitor a competitive advantage. You know, if one respondent submits, just the pricing and not their full information, and then the other party looks at their bid and they look at each other's bid and they're both allowed to supplement, aren't they allowed to, get the answers to the test from their competitor? I think based on that alone, that the Waste Pro was submitted an incomplete bid. And in the bid documents, it says no less than 5 times something to the effect in the original bid documents. Verify your bid before submission as it cannot be changed or corrected after being opened. In case of an error in extension of prices, the unit price will govern. And again, later on in those documents, it says bidders must comply with all of the submission requirements to be eligible for bid award, to include timeliness and completeness, submission of all required documentation and signatures. Later on in the bid, it says it again, that it must be complete. Failure to provide the items required below will render a bid as non-responsive. And we go to an addendum, and again, it says, this is an official statement from the procurement department. It says potential bidders are responsible to check this site for any addendums that are issued. It is the responsibility of the bidder to check for, download, and include with their bid response any and all addendums, and that's underlined in bold. And in this case, at least according to what I've heard from other bidders present, as well as the recording that everybody has heard of the bid opening, that just simply wasn't the case. And it's customary practice, as we've heard from Mr. Payne, that if a bid is incomplete, that bid is thrown out. So I would think it would be arbitrary on behalf of the city to just pick a winner and loser. And then second to that, if say the bid was awarded to the second bidder or the responsive bidder, the city has the ability to negotiate. That right's reserved in this RFP and in the contract. They're able to negotiate that price. I'd love to hear response but I have additional points.
So we've probably gone too far, and I probably should have said this sooner. Probably should have done this in executive session. It's too late for that now. I'm going to stop talking, and I suggest everybody else do the same.
So, Mr. President, I'd ask that we shoot down this bid from Waste Pro for the next bidder.
Anyone else?
Um,
Mr. Carroll?
Bid law is a funny thing. And dollars and cents and procedure and declaration of non-responsiveness. I think that there's normally a clause in the specifications in the proposal that reads one sentence that allows for clarification if there are some errors and omissions, that states that the city or the owner has the ability to accept or reject all bids. That one sentence may cause us to, or give us the ability to be able to negotiate a compromise if there are errors and omissions that declare both parties non-responsive in a bid. So I would think that the two lawyers or three lawyers may need to have a conversation before we move forward. However, I am in agreement with you on how and when the bids were opened. Those steps did not happen at the bid opening and were allowed to go forward. So between the lawyers and the two companies and us, I would think that we can find a way to resolve this. Like I said, I am in agreement with you, but we have to be really careful at this point in time.
So let me say this. We have put both contracts on the agenda. It's in the council's hands now to make a decision based on the information that you have. We can talk, but that won't change the facts, and that won't change the timing of what you're dealing with contract-wise.
All right.
Mr. President.
Mr. Reynolds?
We've gotten a legal opinion on this from our attorney, and it's well within our purview to reject or accept, any of these bids, based on the facts that we have before us, is my understanding. Mr. Leonard, could you speak on it just briefly?
I mean, just briefly, based on what Mr. Woods said a little while ago, I think this would be better handled in executive session. That being said, I believe Mr. Payne has addressed, from the city's point of view, the completeness of the bid packages and the relative situations on there. Beyond that, I will just say generally that low bid law generally means low bid. So otherwise, I would prefer to defer this to executive session with the council if at all possible.
All right. We're going to move on. Madam Clerk?
21939, authorized contract with John G. Walton Construction for 2022 Pago resurfacing. 28940, waive building permit fees for 10 residential properties annexed into the city effective July 25th. 37941, approved license with Yamul International Enterprises for Cruise Terminal, Cruise Shop. 60, 942, and 943, and 944 are authorizing settlement agreement and release of claims. Ordinance is being introduced. 64040 is a rezoning on North Lafayette Street in St. Stephen's Road. 64041 is a rezoning on Cosgrove Drive and O'Shea Road. 64042 is modifying the PUD at McVeigh Drive. 64043 is rezoning at Cottage Hill Road. Consent resolutions being introduced. 09945, transfer funds from District 2 discretionary account to Parks and Recreation General Fund to assist the harvest giveaway at the Seals Community Center. 40, 946, 947, 948, 949, and 950 are the fixing the cost of demolition of structures. 58, 951, declaring weeds noxious, group 1647. 60, 952, approve award of special bonus to the Administrative Services Employee of the Month. 60, 953, 954, 955, 956, and 957 are determining appropriations to Senior Citizen Services doing business as Via Health, Fitness, and Enrichment Center, Dearborn YMCA Association, Jaguar Athletic Fund, Inc., Mobile Symphonic Pops Band, Inc., and the Community Services for Vision Rehabilitation serves a public purpose and approving payment. CIP resolutions being introduced. 21958, authorized contract with ACOM Technical Services for District 6 traffic signal improvements, $76,199. 21959, authorized contract with Justice ADIS Fourth, doing business as J&A Contracting for fountain repairs at Unity Park, $44,000. 21960, authorized contract with Iker Construction for new splash pad at Baumhauer Randall Park, $371,175. Resolutions being introduced. 01961, authorized agreement with Matthew Brooks for racket stringer services, Parks and Recreation, $70,000. 09962, transfer funds from capital improvement project engineering, right-of-way and testing to capital project Michigan Avenue Crossing, $44,265.04. 09963, appropriate funds in the Rebuild Alabama Special Revenue Fund for Tiger / Dr. MLK Jr. Avenue Broad Street Project, $1,300,000. 21964, authorized contract with Smith Dukes Buckalew to perform auditing and financial reporting services for fiscal years 2023, 24, and 25, amount $220,000, $230,000, and $241,000 respectively. 21965, authorized contract with Integrity Maintenance for cruise terminal painting, $30,500. 21966, authorized contract with Clear Risk US Corp for claims administration software and services, $150,000 for each for 3-year period. 21967, authorized contract with McDuffie Sanitation to provide residential garbage and trash services, $1,500,000 for 3 years.
Mr. President,
Mr. Woods.
I'd like to ask that we suspend the rules and take that today, if all possible.
I agree.
Okay.
25968, accept temporary construction easements for North Washington Avenue culvert and street repair project. 31969, amend ADM Alabama Recycling Funds Grants Program budget to establish third location. 35970, authorized lease agreement with River Yacht Basin Marina for boat slip for Mobile Fire Rescue Marine Vessel.
Mr. President,
Yeah, Mr.
this is probably in your area. I'm just looking on a map here, trying to figure out where that is. River Yacht Basin Marina? Where's River Yacht Basin Marina?
It's on the other side of McNally.
I thought that was Buccaneer.
It is Buccaneer.
Buccaneer's on the other side of McNally, isn't it?
No, it's also, I think it's another private place on the other side of McNally.
Okay.
It's off Scenic Drive, off of Alpine Parkway.
Okay.
Right north of where the river's wide and it turns into you got the basin there with Halls Mill Creek and Rabbit Creek splitting off, and the river continues north.
Okay.
Just there on the right-hand side.
Okay. Thank you.
60971, authorized settlement agreement and release of claims. Call for public hearings, 41972. Call for public hearing to rezone property located at 2258 Airport Boulevard and 267 Seminole Street from R1 and B2 to B2, scheduled September 26th. 41973, call for public hearing to assent to the vacation of a portion of an alley located between 1010 and 1012 Old Shell Road, scheduled September 26th. 41974, call for public hearing to consider a vacation of right-of-way fee as a condition of the vacation of a portion of an alley located between 1010 and 1012 Old Shell Road, scheduled September 26th. 41975, call for public hearing to consider the adoption of the 2023-2024 General Fund, Capital Improvement Funds, and Convention Center budget, scheduled September 5th.
Mr. President.
Announcements.
Mr. President, before we go to announcements, I asked the clerk's office earlier about the assessing of the funds and the consent of vacation right away. I haven't seen it done this way, where we have them separated on the agenda before. Is that new?
No, we've done it this way.
We've done it this way?
Yes.
So the council still has the ability, like we've done on all others, to waive the fee for the vacation?
We haven't done it on all of them.
Yeah.
Well, we've done it on a lot of those in the past.
We've done it on a few in the past.
Right. I mean, well, in this district, we've done it quite a bit, especially with the downtown along the waterfront and the state docks and everywhere else. I just want to make sure that option's there. When I was a kid, this used to be a cut through from Oak Drive to Old Shell Road. There's a fence up now where the people have been maintaining that property for a long time. So if they've been maintaining that property for years, I don't think we should be assessing them a fee and when we get to this. That's why I asked the question.
What item number is that?
It's a call for
Call for
public
public
hearing.
hearing.
It's not an
Oh,
item
oh.
number yet. That's why I asked the question. So when we get to it, I guess I'll ask that question later on, maybe 30 days or so.
Good.
Anyone else? Anything from the administration?
Yeah, I want to, if possible, the council allow me to add a disbursement of discretionary funds to the agenda for one of the schools that is in dire need of air. The temperature's been 104, 105 degrees, averaging in the high 90s. They have no air in the school whatsoever for the kids, and I want to allow, if possible, to allow an allocation of discretionary funds to provide a temporary air system for them.
I have no objection.
Anything else?
Executive session.
Yes, let's do that.
We have to.
There's also an economic development matter. Did y'all want to take that up as well?
Yes.
If we have time, yeah.
Mr. President, my name is Ricardo Woods. I'm a licensed attorney in the state of Alabama. I serve as the city attorney for Mobile. At this time, I'm asking that we take a roll call vote and go into executive session for the purpose of, one, discussing the economic development issue that may involve trade secrets and competitive information, and also a matter that is imminently likely to lead to litigation. And we'll reconvene at the 10:30 meeting.
So moved.
Second.
Properly moving second in the discussion. Madam Clerk?
President Small,
Yes.
Vice President Gregory,
Yes.
Councilmember Penn,
Yes.
Councilmember Carroll,
Yes.
Councilmember Reynolds, Councilmember Daves,
Yes.
Councilmember Woods.
Yes.
We'll see y'all at 10:30.
I think it is. I think it is. I didn't look it up, but I think it is. The Seminole Street and Airport Boulevard? Yeah.